Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Nur Izzati binti Bahrain with matric number D202111000117. Today, I will review a book with title Islamic Revivalism in Malaysia, Dakwah Among Students by Zainah Anwar. Okay, this book have 5 chapters. The first chapter is about road of Islamic Revivalism. Second chapter is about the Dakwah movement and its influence among students. Chapter 3 is about the spreading message. Chapter 4 is about becoming a Dakwah on how and why. And the last chapter is about socio-political impact. For me, I like to read this book because the content is about the Dakwah among university student, which I'm also in that stage of life. I'm still a student and this book really relate in my study life as a degree student. This book also teach me on how can dakwah really help to enhance and improve Islamic life in university. In the study of Islamic revivalism in Malaysia, there have been few attempts to understand and explain the growth of the Dakwah movement from the perspective of the adherents themselves. It is the others' contention that the youth of Malaysia, the undergraduates and young professionals form the backbone of the Dakwah movement in the country. Who are these people who are changing the political rhetoric and shaping the social climate in Malaysia into a more Islamic tone, and why and how did they become dakwah? What are their beliefs, their demands, and how do they spread the movement on the campus? The study in that book shows that the dakwah movement in Malaysia is not monolithic. Those who have become dakwah do not necessarily share the same intensity of practice or level of commitment to Islam. Not all those who have become dakwah are politicized. In tracing the growth of the dakwah movement, the study finds that the under leadership of Anwar Ibrahim, the ABIM dominated movement among the students was a progressive one. The radicalization of the Dakwah movement and the calls for an Islamic state occurred with the return of Malaysian students from England who had been influenced by the more fundamentalist Islam of the Egyptian Muslim Brotherhood and Pakistani Jamaati Islami. In the analysis of the social political impact of the Dakwah movement, the other argues that while the movement may not have the resources to capture political power, its strength and importance lies in this ability to influence and change the lifestyle and value system of the Malays, and in its ability to destabilize the government by denying in the religious legitimacy it seeks. The chapter 1 in this book is about roads of Islamic revivalism. Okay, Malaysia is no different from other Muslim countries caught in the throes of Islamic revivalism. For the Islamic activities, a new ideological framework forms the basic of their belief and way of life. This belief include the first one, Islam is a comprehensive way of life. Religion is integral to politics, state, law, and society. The second one, Muslim societies fail because they depart from this understanding of Islam by following Western secular and materialistic ideologies and values. The development and growth of the Dakwah movement among the students, especially in the 1970s, owed much to the formation of ABIM, which had given unflinching support in terms of leadership, guidance, manpower, organization of activities, and provision of Islamic books, pamphlets, and speakers on Islam. The next, chapter 2 is about the Dakwah movement and its influence among students. Okay, this book states that at least some 60 until 70% of the Malay students are committed at some level or other to Dakwah. The students were also show a different level of commitment of the Dakwah. For example, most would be in the traditional Malay baju kurung, a sarung, and a long sleeve loose tunic that comes to the knee. Over this would be a mini telekung, a triangular headdress that comes to the chest, or a round one that comes down even further to the waist. These different lengths reflect the different level of commitment of the Dakwah girls. The next step would be to graduate to a hijab, an ankle length of piece long sleeve robe worn over the Malay baju, with a round mini telekung and socks to keep the feet hidden. Only the face and the hands are visible. The robe hiding completely the shape of the body. And then the highest level of commitment or Dakwah girls is the student who shroud herself not only in hijab but also her face veil and her hands glove and also her feet stocking all the time. The purdah, as it is called in Malaysia, is now a rarer sight on campus because of the government's ban on it for security reasons. While the Dakwah influence is pervasive on the university campus, it is inaccurate to describe it as one monolithic movement. There are, as shown by the manners of dressing, different levels of commitment and adherence to the faith. For some, being a Dakwah means being more religious in their personal life, and this means primarily or solely fulfilling the rituals, like praying 5 times a day instead of only once or twice, or not at all. For the woman, it means discarding their usual Western clothing of pants, skirt, dressing for the more modest Malay baju and a mini telekung. This is the first public statement that a Malay girl makes to those around that she is now a Dakwah. To others, a change in dressing also means a change in behavior and also a lifestyle. No more parties and discontinuous, no more hanging out with boys or even girls at the hostel lounge or television room, and also no more shouting to friends from across the street or louder and gossip as they walk arm in arm to class or in the back to the hostel. The next chapter in this book is chapter 3 that about spreading the message. This book states that the most effective vehicle in building the Dakwah movement is through the Usrah group. There are scores of such groups on each campus, usually consisting of not more than 10 students who meet regularly in a discussion of Islam, and the Usrah group is of course a single sex. Besides the Usrah group, Dakwah is also spread through organized activities, especially of the Muslim student societies. The Dakwah movement has indeed provided a deep sense of spiritual belonging and a brotherhood among the students, and added to this a sense of a mission and a purpose in life that drive them with increasing commitment. The two last chapters in this book are chapter 4 and 5 is about the illustration of the different levels of commitment and lifestyle of the Dakwah followers. How they were introduced to Islam as a way of life, how their reaction and the conflict they face because this diversity in levels of commitment, belief and lifestyle have also contributed to the disunity and rivalry within the Dakwah movement. So, an important consideration in measuring the impact of the Dakwah movement among students is their level of commitment to the movement after graduation and the kind of influence they have in their workplace. That's all from me to review this book. Thank you.